So, welcome to Unlocking Your Limitless Life. And joining me in the chat is Janie Lynn from Divine Wealth Awakening. Janie um, seems to be having technical difficulties on her end, and we can't seem to get her live in the video feed with us. But we've got her in the chat for sure, and I've got her on the line in my ears as well. So, we're going to be sharing some interesting tips, tools, and things that will help support you in creating a different possibility with money in your life. So, what if throughout all this time, money was made as a separation from you? That money was something that was outside of yourself, that you couldn't actually have it, that you had to do something to earn it, to be it. For instance, you had to win the lottery. You Someone had to die for you to inherit money. Other ways, you had to work. You had to work hard. You had to work more to make more. You had to um, save to have money. What if, like, all of these ways of doing it were set up to actually create this as a limitation for us in our life? There is a brand new shift that is taking place. Many of you are already aware that there are different possibilities, that you are choosing things that are working for you that normally you wouldn't have chose for it to be working for you. You would have chose out of obligation or responsibility. And with that, how often are you still using I ought to, I should, I could, I might, I have to, I'm supposed to? When you hear yourself think those things and say those things, that's actually where you take yourself out of the equation. You're actually choosing against yourself because you're choosing for everyone else and everything else, and you're not choosing for yourself. So, one of the things Janie and I really wanted to share today was to allow you to have a different possibility with that. So, what if when you start choosing what would be fun for you, what would work for you, where you would learn something, where it would something that would contribute to you, and the possibility too of actually being at a different frequency, because energy is we're all energy. Everything's energy, and everything has a vibrational frequency that it resonates at. So when you are doing things that are not in your best interest, that are not fun for you, that you're supposed to do, you have to do, those are the obligations and things, you're not actually choosing your highest vibrational frequency. You're choosing for everyone else, and that's a lower vibrational frequency. So what happens is when you choose at this lower vibrational frequency, what shows up is you are taking yourself out, and you're doing for everyone else. And when you do for everyone else, you're actually not increase your vibrational frequency. You are what they call validating someone else's reality. So you're making them more important than yourself. You're putting them first before yourself. And what happens is, over the years, we've been taught and bought into that, you're such a good mom when you put your whole family first and you're last. And you're a good wife when your husband always comes first and you come second, third, fourth down the list last. That you're a good neighbor when you are doing everything for everyone else in your neighborhood and not necessarily doing things that would work for you. You're a good boss, you're a good student, you're a good professor, you're a good coach, you're a good, it could be anything where you're designated as good. And that designation of good comes to you based on the fact that you have to choose against yourself in order to be the good, whatever it happens to be. I know in my situation, I used to teach first grade. And as a first grade teacher, there was a principal who really loved her teachers to get there early and stay late and have everything planned out. And that worked for me because that was sort of how I would function as a school teacher. Like I would kind of stay late, make sure everything was organized, get my thoughts in place. It was first grade, so every 20 minutes with their attention span, we were doing something else. So there was a lot as a elementary school teacher. And then there were some teachers who could come in, they had a couple ideas, and right off the cuff, they could just have incredible lessons for kids, and they just knew it. It was just right there. And so it was interesting to see how other people were sort of giving the good teacher, bad teacher, you need to do this, you haven't been doing this, to the teacher who didn't stay late, who didn't have lesson plans out ready to go, prepared, so the principal could walk in and look at it at any time. So I found that these were things that also showed up with being a senior sales director at Mary Kay Cosmetics, with because there was a lot of production, there was a lot of sales, there was a lot of meetings, there was a lot of communication, there was a lot of responsibilities that went along in that position. It also has shown up with coaching, with availability and being seen, and really having being sort of being available all the time, all hours, weekends, vacations, holidays, not having a certain set hours. And so in looking at that, and I know I've got Janie in my ears here. Janie, feel free to pop in at any time with what you know about this too, and maybe some experiences that you have that have sort of shown up with you that really brings us to a place where we're not choosing for ourselves. And one of the quickest, fastest, easiest ways to elevate your frequency is to choose what's going to work for you. Choose what's fun. Choose happiness. Choose joy. Choose ease. Because what happens with that is when you choose for yourself and what works for you, your vibrational frequency actually raises. And what that does, it allows everyone else to not have to hold that point of view in place. So when you're choosing for you and people say, hey, you look great, you feel great, things are happening, things are, smooth and easy for you, you look like you're having so much fun. It's like, yeah, and would you like to have some of that? So choosing for yourself actually pulls in and elevates, gives people the opportunity to have a different possibility in their own life as well. So now, Janie, I've got you in my ears. What you're saying, yes, yes, yes. So what is it for you? You know what? Maybe I can put you on speakerphone.
That would be awesome.
Okay. I've got you on speakerphone.
So one of the things I found kind of interesting was when I started choosing for me.
Oh, we're getting reverberation. So you got to either shut off your YouTube, yeah, and be live with us.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay,
cool. I muted my YouTube so I can still see you.
Okay, great. So, yeah, if you're watching live, let us know that you can hear Janie, and we're gonna pop you in here, Janie. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I was in a situation, a marriage for 22 years where it was okay to be me in certain ways, but then not in others. Like there was certain things that I wasn't really allowed to talk about or be, or, these are my powers and capacities and potencies, and I create magic with these things, but I wasn't allowed to talk about it because it was a family and stuff that they don't believe things unless they can see them. And when I stepped out of that and started choosing for me, it was like I had to really look at what is it that I actually want? Because I didn't know. And so as far as labels and classifications goes, it was like codependency, which is basically putting yourself, your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, beliefs, and ideas all on the back burner in lieu of creating happiness for somebody else. And, I've seen that a lot with other people as well. Is when they first start to do that, it's like, wow, I don't even know what I want. Because when you're in that space, it's like you forget to ask yourself, what do I want? What's important to me? And I didn't realize until I stepped out of the situation that it was like, there is more beyond this. And it's okay for me to want more beyond this. Because I wasn't, it wasn't okay. Like, there's beliefs and judgments attached to that too as well. It's like, it's not okay to want something for ourselves.
Yeah, you absolutely, you hit it. You hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of religions, have that in place, that, not being selfish. And when you choose for you, there's this selfishness factor that it's the not you first card that gets played on you. And yeah, so it's really interesting that we're all awake to this now. Like, for so long we've been sleeping through, this is the way our parents did it, and this is the way their parents did it, and their parents did it before that. And like, I find even my son now, he's 16, is in a different space where he's like not doing it if it's not going to work for him.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because he started to show this to me back when he was in elementary school. And I would say, on our way home from school, oh, we've got to, pick, go grocery shopping, or, go to the bank, or, pick this up or run this errand. And he's like, Mom, do we really have to do that? And it was like, he really had me stop and think literally about what I designated as having to do, and, what literally had to be done or didn't have to be done. And it was just this eye-opening experience, because it showed me a way to be more present. And I was really unconscious with, this is the to-do list, and this is the grocery list, and this is what we have to do, and where we have to go, and how we have to do it, and this is the time we have to do it in. And he was actually like, okay, and maybe not, like, let's ask, like, is that going to work for us? And I was like, yeah, you know what? No. I'm like, we don't have to do that today. He's like, because I'd really like to just go home. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. And do you know, it was so much easier when we chose what worked for us than what I had on my list to do. And what the list I had to do was like things that had to get done to be the good mom, that kind of a thing. And so how does this relate to money, Janie?
Well, so what popped in next was like, when things really started to shift was when I started to let go of the beliefs and ideas of being the good whatever, and letting go of the structure of this, like the order and things had to be done. Kind of like you're talking about with the to-do list and the everyday stuff.
Yeah.
When I let go of that and started asking my body questions, like, because it's similar to asking somebody else questions, you get answers. So when you're following the energy of your body, that's in alignment with your highest good. That's in alignment with, like, if you're an entrepreneur, it's in alignment with the business you're creating. So when you're asking your body questions, that you're in alignment. And so you'll get very clear answers like, yeah, we're doing this now, we're not doing this now. And it gives you the trustability to follow your intuition.
Yeah, because
So,
our bodies are way more aware than we are because we have so many points of view and our bodies don't.
uh-huh.
And so we kind of like sort of supersede our bodies and we kind of like overrule, them. We kind of decide for them and not include them.
Yeah.
So I just learned, or I've been learning more about the heartbeat of the earth. Did you know about this, Janie, that the earth has a
Mm-hmm.
heartbeat?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So the earth has a heartbeat. And for a long time, it's only been able to be seen or detected from the earth, from here.
Uh-huh.
And recently, I guess the stratosphere, atmosphere, isosphere, whatever those are,
Uh-huh.
have actually, they're less as intense, less thick, less as deep as they are. And so now the heartbeat of the earth can actually be seen from space and it's been recorded.
Oh,
And
awesome.
what they have found is that as more of us are waking up on the planet, as consciousness is increasing on the
Uh-huh.
planet, so is our heart rate, and so is the heart rate of the earth, of the planet.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
isn't that amazing? So in fact, I did an activation. I have a mastermind, a group coaching group, and our call this past week, I did a heart activation, connecting them to all the people on the planet and the earth as well. And in with that heart activation, it was eliminating everywhere we've been told and bought that the heart is, the your heart can be broken.
Yeah.
And we had lots of jewelry, where there would be, half a heart on a keychain or half a heart on a bracelet or half of a
Oh,
heart
yeah.
on a necklace. And you would give half of your heart, you have it broken and you'd give it to like, your boyfriend or your best friend.
Best friend, or yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
go ahead.
those.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, okay, so why are we doing that? Why are we breaking our hearts? Why are we giving half of our hearts to somebody else? Do you know what I mean? For this, and I put air quotes up there, for this thought process, for this
Uh-huh.
belief that that was a sign of your true love or your true friendship. And so we spent some time talking about that because what you think about, you talk about, and what you talk about, you bring about. So
Yes.
when you're talking about breaking your heart and here's a piece of my heart and you know those kind of things, it's like wow. um what if you don't have to break anything to be just as close with that friend, and what if you don't have to give any part of you away to someone else in order to have all of you. And so we really took some time in eliminating a lot of these things. So, is there something that's coming up for you about a broken heart or breaking your heart or giving a piece of your heart away? Even heart attacks, right? It's sort of like,
Yes.
we're
Well, and what's popping in is, when, with the friendship thing, the best friend giving, all of that, it was like you had to have them on a pedestal, so to speak. I mean, they had to be pretty dang special to get half your heart.
right.
So what happens when you put somebody on a pedestal is you're not willing to see and be aware of what truly is going on with that relationship. So when something bad does, quote unquote, bad does happen, then it's like you feel like your heart's broken because the energy's torn. And you feel like you were surprised because you weren't willing to be aware to see everything that was actually going on.
Yeah. And there's that separation, right?
Yeah.
Like even just with doing that and creating that and thinking that and having that is, you're believing that you're actually separate from this other person, this, love, or this, friend. And that's actually not true. There is no
Right.
separation. Like we're all one, we're all together. So, um, we took some time to eliminate those things. So yeah, if this is running for you, and we call it running because is that something that you think about, you thought about, you did, you believe in, you encourage, you've taught someone else, all of that is where that frequency of a broken heart, or like you were talking about putting someone on a pedestal, actually places you in a less like an inferior position. It's like you can't be whole without them. You
Mhm.
you know that and it's sort of like we didn't have an awareness of this. It's like that's what everyone was doing when we were in high school.
Yeah.
That was the cool thing to do. That
Yeah.
was your way of showing your love and appreciation and dedication to the love or the other person. And that actually doesn't have to exist anymore on the
Yeah.
planet. Like you can have all of you, all of them, all right now, and the money that goes along with it. So
Yes. Well, because like how often have we put money on a pedestal
yeah.
and created the separation there too? Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like you can't have it unless you've worked for it. You can't have it unless
Mhm.
you do for it. It's due to have. And,
Yeah.
so this new frequency that's showing up, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you, Janie, and with everyone else, that it's the heart frequency. It's the earth heart. It's us being connected, vibrational frequency. And as we're gaining more consciousness, so is the earth, and the earth's heart rate is raising and our heart rate is raising. And it's
Mhm.
this amazing combination of having a different possibility. And so money, wealth, abundance has always been something that has been distant from so many people, that it was something they couldn't have, they didn't deserve. They owe someone something. They have debt. They have credit card debt. They have mortgage debt. There's a lot of debt that sort of rolls around with money. And then having enough to pay the bills. And then there's a lot of different beliefs that have to do with,
Mhm.
if your belief about money is to pay the bills, then you keep creating bills because you have more money. And so you can't actually have the money because your point of view is that, money is to pay the bills. So there's a lot of
Yes.
these things that are
And
still running. What do
when
you
you're
know?
in that position, it feels like it's so real, and it feels like there's almost no way to get out of it and break the cycle, so to speak. Yeah, so that's that's such a fun place to play if you can look at it from how much fun would it be to change my perspective, or to look at this in a different way where it is more fun, rather than looking at all this stuff that I think I can't get out of, and I can't have this because, or until, or I'm not wealthy until blah blah blah, and all the judgments and stuff that goes along with that keeps you locked in that loop of never achieving what you're desiring.
Yeah, exactly. And is now the time to like get free? Because I know that's our what we're talking about. We're continuing our conversation about having freedom beyond limitations with money. And it's so core with what you were just talking about, because like our heart is the lifeline for
Yeah.
the body. If your heart stops, like everything else shuts down.
Yeah.
That's why they have you on a ventilator, so you're breathing, so you can keep the heart going, right? And
Uh-huh.
yeah, and it's like this lifeline. So what if the heart? What if money, wealth, and abundance is, you know, connected with the heart, right? What if
Yeah.
that now we're reconnecting that, where it's the heart frequency that's raising? What if money is here to love us? What if we're here to love money?
Uh-huh.
What if we're here to play with money and have fun with money? What if our bodies are here to have lots of money so it can get a lot of pampering,
Uh-huh.
with massages and expensive clothing and amazing dinners and fun trips and just being in different countries and all kind of different frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anywhere that we aren't observing, thinking, feeling, talking about money and love, would you be willing to destroy it and create that?
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. Would you be willing to be uberly aware of how you are with your money?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people I grew up with, money was dirty and you needed to wash your hands because, where's that money been? And how many people have touched that money? And how much, germs and, viruses are with it. Go wash your hands. Did you touch the money? You should wash your hands. Right? Well, it was like, money was dirty. So, anytime you have a point of view like that, other than money is love. My God, I love money. I talk about having an affair with the president on the $100 bill, Ben Franklin. He and I are like we have an affair. And and so when he comes to dinner, we have a really good time.
Yes, you do.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I call in more Bens. I'll have some more Bens. I'll play with some more Bens. And I'll have an affair. With Ben nightly, daily. And how we're laughing about this now, but it's kind of like, we're like over, creating beyond, like you're not supposed to actually love money,
right.
Because there's the whole sugar daddy, sugar mama frequencies that go along with being bad, and being a gold digger. And this is Bella, Tinker Bella. She's our goddess warrior, princess queen. Kitty,
beautiful
kitty cat. Yes. And she is here to let you all know that you absolutely positively can have it. That you can not only have it, but you can have it all, that it's all here for you. That, it's our own choice whether we're going to have it, own it, be it. Things own us. So the money needs to own you. Would you be willing to be owned by your money?
Absolutely.
Right? Like lots of money would like to own us. So would you?
Well, and for those listening, that's not being owned by your bills.
Right.
That's being owned by the vibration and the energy of money, which is completely different.
Yeah, wealth. So when in my group that we're doing together, we're talking about color and items that we have around us that contribute or don't contribute to us. And it's so interesting. I just got the idea of, can you imagine if all your drawers were just stuffed with money and you literally had to to get your socks, you were digging
through the money to find your socks.
Yeah, right? Like, what if that was your reality?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah. So anywhere you have anything that comes up that's heavy with money, with cash, with abundance, with wealth, with real estate, with yachts and homes and massive amounts of vacation and destinations, anything that's heavy for you with that, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Would you be willing to eliminate those thoughts and choose something else? So let's go ahead and let's activate a frequency that will contribute to you. So would you be willing to write down in your journal every day to put on a link on a loop on your computer to create a voice memo on your phone of, I have more than enough money and always too much to spend. I have more than enough money and always too much to spend. And literally that frequency, that belief, those thoughts create it in your life. Yeah. Can you feel the expansiveness of how that feels?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So what if that's your new reality? What if that's your new vibrational frequency where you have more than enough money and always too much to spend? Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
like is there any lack in that?
No.
No, right?
Well, and that's the thing too, is you, I was going to say you have to, but you don't have to. Like, to shift a mindset, when you're writing things like that, when you're speaking sentences like that, you're reiterating a positive vibration into your space. And that in and of itself, it's not like an affirmation.
Yes.
It's more like a statement that's changing the resonance and changing the vibration.
Yeah, it's like a mantra.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like literally you can dance to it. I have more than enough money and oh, it's too much to spend or something like that. Like, you know, you're putting your clothes on in the morning and as you're like putting your shirt on, I have more than enough money and always too much to spend. Like literally this, you know, this is an expansive frequency. Anything else that feels heavy, dark, shaded, locked, gated, concealed, invisible, covert, unseen, unsaid, everything that you're not willing to acknowledge, like all of that stuff is what locks you into lack. Yeah. So I'm so glad. Thank you, Janie, for continuing our conversation over here to Facebook.
You are so welcome.
Live. I know. I'm sorry we only have you on the phone, that we couldn't figure out how to get you on here live with us. But literally, and thank you for writing the mantra in the chat here. So yeah, there's a completely different possibility available to you. And just a quick review, you and I chatted about the old systems and the old programming that are running in the background that are still in your thoughts, and you're still choosing your life based on those. To really become aware and take a look at what those are and how they're impacting you, and choosing actually something else that would work. Taking a look at your heart frequency, and actually stepping that game up without giving pieces and parts of your heart away to people. And always and nevers, we didn't mention that, but always and nevers are things that lock you in and out of certain things. So if you'll never have money, you've never had money before, you probably will not have money in the future, all of that actually creates the frequency of no money for you. So always and nevers, I'll never have it, or I'll always be poor, or I'll always be at this job, I'll always have this. Those are forever words. So those are words that actually go with you in and out of embodiments, in and out of lifetimes. So you may or may not even be aware of it, but it may be running in the background. So in order to eliminate that, take a deep breath in. And then when you blow it out, you're going to just allow everything to dissipate. Yeah. From your body. Yeah. And remove it from your body, your being, your aura, and your frequency. So Janie and I are available to chat with you. We are going to put our booking links up. So if there are some things that you would like some help with or to identify, we'd be happy to go in there and take a look with you. If you're possibly looking for a different opportunity that's available, we know it's possible. You know that there's something else available. So just finishing up on the quick review, we elevated our heart rate. We took a look at choosing things for us versus choosing for everyone else and cutting ourselves out. And also raising our heart frequency to match the earth, and then to activate your money abundance code. It's your heart code. It's the new code. The new code on the planet, your heart code, with having more than enough money and always too much to spend. So Cool. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. We are glad that you are a part of it. We're glad that you're checking in on the replay. Our links are here for you. Know that this is a different possibility available on planet Earth. And Janie, is there anything else you can think of?
I think that was it. And I just like to say, thank you so much from my heart for watching the replay. We would love some feedback. We would love to hear from you. So even if after this is posted, still feel free to comment. And it's been awesome.
Yeah, and come find us. So you're at Divine Wealth Awakening, and you have a radio show there, and you have a group.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And you can find me on Facebook at the Divine Wealth Awakening Show.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I have a TV show, Unlocking Your Limitless Life, with Susan Shatzer, and we'd love to have you a part of the group and be able to catch a lot of our guests that are there. Both Janie and I bring a lot of conscious guests to the radio, into the TV shows, to gift you a different possibility with money, wealth, abundance, as well as, health. We have doctors and researchers, and it's a lot of amazing things. It's like this actually, platform doesn't exist on the planet. So we're here. This is cutting edge, creative edge, and we're bringing it to you. So thank you for joining us here today. Until we get to meet you in person someday, ciao for now. Bye.